My name's Pete Woods, you're watching Hexham TV. Who are you and where are we?
My name's Caroline Ludlow. I live in Stocksfield. I'm a mum of 2 young people. I'm also a qualified lawyer, and I've studied the EU constitutional law, employment law, and I was an Erasmus student myself, and I speak 3 European languages. And we're outside the Abbey in Hexham today with the pro-European local groups holding a vigil in relation to people having a further say in the current Brexit farce.
So what are you saying to local people when they come up and talk to you about this issue?
Well, we're saying that basically now that we know more about what Brexit involves, that it actually involves quite a significant fundamental change to our society in the UK and how it's run. So now that we know more about this, that people should be entitled to be balloted again to find out if what's happening is what the government's come up with is what they really want.
So what do you think of what's happened so far with the negotiations and the way the government's handled it so far?
For me, the fundamental issue has been that politicians haven't been honest about the trade-offs involved in leaving the EU and haven't given us the realistic options available to us. We have an undefined proposal. We now know more. Politicians haven't given us the information on trade-offs involved, how it will affect our society, how it will affect workers' rights. I've practiced employment law, so I'm aware of all the workers' rights that will be at risk. So I think people need to decide if this is the way forward as under Theresa May's deal, or in fact under a catastrophic no deal, which seem to be the only available options at this late hour.
So what would you like to say to our local MP about how you'd like him to vote in this important coming week in politics?
Well, in the event that Theresa May gets her deal back to the House of Commons, I think he represents a Remain constituency of Hexham. He should vote it down, and basically any alternative that is delivered by the House of Commons, the people should get to decide whether that's the way forward for the country.
And what would you say to people who say that we've already had a vote and we should just go with that vote?
Well, being a lawyer, I was aware of the many flaws involved in that referendum. I've also studied a lot of history, so I'm aware that referendums are in fact a very poor form of democracy. They don't fit with our representative parliamentary system. There were millions of people, there are EU citizens here today with us outside the Abbey who are excluded. So people and Brits in the EU as well, directly affected, they weren't included. So for me it was actually a very poor example of democracy. Also in relation to the democracy argument, how can it be undemocratic to have more voting?
Caroline, thank you very much for talking to Hexham TV.
Okay.